You cannot will a state into existence. And it's important to state that Keir Starmer is wrong, absolutely wrong, on the international law when he talks about a supposed inalienable right of the Palestinians to a state. There is no such thing. If there was...
You know that Keir Starmer is really, really messing up when he can't even get it right when it comes to his own area of expertise, international law.
Was a right to statehood under international law, the Kurds would have a state. There'd be many hundreds more states. In fact, what international law prizes far higher is territorial integrity of existing states. That's how international law works. So both on the facts, the law, the politics, and in encouraging internationally prescribed terrorist organizations with these political antics and dangerous rhetorics, I'm afraid the Prime Minister would be wrong on every count.
Natasha Hausdorff there, the absolutely brilliant lawyer from UK Lawyers for Israel, absolutely slamming Keir Starmer for having absolutely no idea what he is talking about when he says we will recognise the state of Palestine if Israel doesn't agree to a ceasefire by September. Let's look at another clip from her speaking to Ian Collins on Talk TV.
Well, given that the recognition that was promised by Macron by France was welcomed immediately by Hamas as a positive step, certainly that ought to give Starmer and the Labour Party pause for thought.
You would have thought.
The opposition, I think, has put it very diplomatically. The real problem with what is being toyed with this recognition of a state which simply does not exist, certainly doesn't exist under international law, is that it simply serves to encourage Hamas and other Palestinian terrorist groups and encourage intransigence. We've seen the impact on Hamas walking away from the negotiation table and the American proposed hostage release and ceasefire proposals, and we have seen the elongation, the prolongation of this conflict as a result of this very dangerous and unfounded rhetoric.
So there we go, that's Natasha Hausdorff speaking there. I didn't have time to show you the full clip, but you can go and check it out on her X account or on Talk on YouTube, and she's absolutely spot on. And what I think she really nails there in her in the second clip is how this is actually bad, not just for Israel, but for the Palestinian people, for Keir Starmer to put out this statement, because what it does is it creates the incentive for Hamas to reject any kind of ceasefire deal, to refuse to lay down their arms, to refuse to step back and stop governing the Gaza Strip and hand it over to the Palestinian Authority or somebody else who's actually going to govern the place properly, which means that the Palestinian people end up in a longer war where more Palestinians die, and it means that they are stuck with the horrible terrorists in charge, Hamas. I mean, Keir Starmer has completely lost his marbles when even on the area that he is supposedly an expert, law and particularly international law, he has no idea what he is talking about, and all these lawyers are writing in, they've put in a joint letter saying, you're a plonker. The way that you recognise statehood in international law is completely out of line with what you have said. So there we go. That was Natasha Hausdorff speaking to Ian Collins on Talk. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thanks for watching this video, and hit subscribe down below if you haven't already.